no tomorrow.
Hey y'all, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. If you are new here, thank you so much for joining us. If you are returning, you already know it. You are fabulous. All right, so today's video, this is another Christmas DIYs video. Very excited for these. I cannot wait for y'all to see them. So let's just jump right in. Welcome everybody. Thank you so much for being here with me today. So today's video is a Christmas DIYs, but this is a very special video. My best friend and I went on a girls' day to several different thrift stores and antique places. This one in particular, gorgeous. We found so many different little just awesome treasures, lots of different DIYs to work with, and I am in love with these, y'all. $5. Perfect for Christmas. Perfect. Great. Oh my gosh, look. Okay, so either way, vertically, horizontally, it doesn't matter. This window frame is $10. And then you just make a frame, a wreath. Put your ribbon hanging down, put your wreath on it. This would be gorgeous. Gorgeous. And that window frame was definitely the inspiration for our very first DIY of this video, causing my best friend and I to look for the rest of the day for the perfect frame. Okay, yes, definitely the blue one. That's the one, for sure. Oh my goodness. $10. Definitely the one. That's the one. We've been looking all day long, and that is the one, for sure. It's been right here at the register the whole time. All right, so for this first one, I have got this gorgeous frame that, like I said, we found after we had been looking all day for the perfect frame, and it was right up next to the register, guys. I've also got a grapevine wreath that I picked up at Walmart. Now, this was only about $5, $4.88, I think, maybe, something like that. And then I've got my ivory chalk paint by Waverly, and I'm going to use that ivory chalk paint to paint this frame. Now, as you can see there, I did not try to get down in all the little creaks and crevices because I wanted some of that gold to still show through. So I just gave this 2 good coats, left it distressed looking. I'm then going to take some of these berries that I picked up from the Dollar Tree and create this wreath. So all I did was take these berries, cut them apart, and then just place them inside the grapevine wreath, all going one direction. So they're all pointing towards the same direction. I left a little space up at the top to where I could place my ribbon, but simply just place those berries all over. And look at how many berries fell off, y'all, while I was creating this wreath. That's how much was wasted. Now, that's not cool, but hey, it's Dollar Tree. So, anyways, I have got some really thick burlap ribbon, and then I've also got some of this striped ribbon. Both of these came from the Dollar General store, and I'm just going to double those 2 up and kind of play around with it just to see the measurements, like how long I needed it to be and just how I wanted it to be. Now, I took that ribbon, laid it out across my desk, and I'm just going to simply glue it together. Just took a little bit of hot glue, added a small little bead of hot glue right underneath the one ribbon, and just glued that right down to the second ribbon. Super simple, just so it would stay in place. And then that way, whenever I went to put it over the wreath and then obviously connect it to the frame, it wouldn't be slipping around and moving and all that. I just thought it was best to glue it together. Anyways, I then took it, wrapped it around my wreath, got it just like I needed it, and then I'm going to glue that together. So I ended up gluing those 2 pieces of ribbon together just to create one piece of ribbon that now I'm going to place over my frame. So I just tucked it over the top of the frame. I'm then going to flip everything over to the back side so that we're working with the back side. Now I've got my wreath right where I want it, directly in the center of the frame. And we're just going to take a little bit of hot glue and glue that ribbon down to itself, just so this will stay on the frame. Now, I didn't glue anything to the wreath or to the frame. As you'll see there, it's all glued to the ribbon. That way, if we want to take this apart, completely redo something, it's totally fine. I didn't even use any glue to put the berries on the wreath, if you noticed that. They're just simply tucked down in that wreath. So all of this can be taken apart, but y'all, this turned out gorgeous, gorgeous. Now, as I was saying before, this little antique shop was so stinking cute, y'all. It's called Buffalo and Company, and it's in Dyersburg, Tennessee. Just a gorgeous little place. Okay, so we have found the best anything you want. Treasures galore in this store. This is the Buffalo and Company in Dyersburg, and if you come here, just check out Mandy. She will be all the help that you could ever need. Honestly, this place is like heaven. If you are looking for thrifted items or antiques, it's gorgeous in here. Yeah, perfect. You know how you go in those thrift stores sometimes and it's got that smell that you don't even want to pick up the stuff? Well, this place is not like that. It smells like heaven in here, honestly. And everything is so clean and well organized. This is just the perfect thrift store, honestly. You're going to have to come check this out for sure. Okay, so for this next one, we found this little cloche at Buffalo and Company, and y'all, I only gave like $3 for that little cloche. How stinking cute is that? I have got several little packs of the Dollar Tree Christmas trees. I've also got some of the faux snow, and then I also have this little reindeer. Now, I'm going to start out with some white chalk paint by Waverly, and I'm just going to paint. I actually started out by painting the center of this, and then I decided I would just paint the whole thing. You know how DIYs kind of evolve as you're doing them. So I gave this 2 really good coats, making sure that the center was covered really, really well. And, you know, of course, making sure that the outside had a good coat of paint, because I was going to go back with some sandpaper and just sand this down really well. And y'all, it distressed so perfectly. Oh my gosh, it just looked so good. So I just ran that sandpaper right across the edges and it worked out perfect, y'all. Okay, so I have got several of the Dollar Tree trees, as I was saying. And then I took the little reindeer. Now, I cut his little legs off. I'm sorry, guys. I did mutate him. But anyways, so I did cut his little legs off. I was wanting to look like he was kind of hunkered down in the trees, you know, maybe in the forest or something. But it just didn't work out because it didn't matter how short I got him. I just couldn't get him to sit up in the cloche really well. Like it just wasn't going to work out. But anyways, I did realize by doing that, though, that I was going to have to cut down most of my trees as well. So I took my needle nose pliers and I just snipped off the top of the majority of the trees. That way the cloche would, you know, go back over the top of it just right. But like I said, I put the reindeer in there and it just was not working for me. So I took him out and we're just gonna go with the trees. So added a little hot glue to the bottom of my trees and I just began to glue these trees right in the center of that cloche. Y'all, this turns out so pretty. Oh my goodness. I will have this for years to come because it just turned out far beyond my expectations. I love this so much. But anyway, so like I said, I just continued to glue my little trees right down in there. I took that faux snow, sprinkled it across the top just so it would have some of those little iridescent pieces, you know, up in the top of the trees and whatnot. Kind of shook it around a little bit just to get the snow kind of exactly where I wanted it. Pop the top back on this dude, and that was it. I am so in love with this, y'all. I'm so in love with it. Okay, so our next stop, I can't remember the name of this thrift store, y'all, but it had so many little hidden treasures. Brie, check out these books. How cute, guys. Like, it's already tattered and torn. It's perfect. You wouldn't have to do anything to it. Add you some simple Christmas ribbon, pop a couple stems in there. This would be super cute, laying on your countertop or maybe your coffee table or something. Very cute.
Love it.
Oh, yes, I totally grabbed those books, y'all. I couldn't help it. They were so perfect. Already tattered, torn looking. And then I opened up this one and realized it says January 9th, 1921 in it. How cool is that? Plus, it had a little American flag. Like, I like to look through the books and see what's in them. This book was all in French, but it had a little American flag drawn in it. It's so crazy. Anyways, the other one just had a little bookmark in it, a little keepsake. But like I said, it was already tattered looking, very worn out looking. The edges of the paper was real good and brown. The paper that was actually on that book was already browned. It was just perfect. And then I found this stool, y'all. How cute is that stinking stool? So these two DIYs are going together. All right, so first off, I started out with some white chalk paint by Waverly. Got a little on my brush, wiped it off on a towel, and then began to dry brush this stool. That's all I did to it. Just simply dry brush the white paint on there. Super simple, but such a difference. Oh my goodness. It just really brings this stool to life. I love this little stool. I think it is so stinking cute. It's going to be super fun to decorate with even after the holidays. So definitely going to be using this for several things, but I just went all the way around this little stool, completely distressed all of it with the white paint. I'm then going to take a pick that I picked up at Walmart, $1.48. Now, it's got a little like clip on the end of it. We're going to get rid of that, but love this little pick. It's got the berries, it has pine cones, it's got the spruce. It's just perfect. So I'm just going to take that, lay it right across the top of my books. Now, I did nothing to those books. I wanted to keep those just like they were. I thought they were just perfect like they were. I took 3 different types of ribbon. I got 2 of those types of ribbon at the Dollar General store, and then the other one came from the Dollar Tree. I just cut off quite a bit, tied it around the books and around the pick, then created just a simple little shoestring bow, nothing fancy, just literally a simple little shoestring bow. Kind of pulled out my little loops and kind of fluffed those just a little bit. I'm going to snip off the ends of my ribbon just to where it hangs just a little bit. I wanted it to hang over the side of the stool because we're just going to sit these on the stool. How stinking cute, y'all. How stinking cute is this? Oh my gosh. I don't know what I love more, the books or the stool or just the whole dang thing. It is so cute. Okay, so for this next one, I found this metal envelope. Now, the back side of it was like plywood type wood, and then the front was metal. And then I've also got several picks here that I'm going to be using. I have my Arteza paints out. I'm going to be using the silver, burnt sienna, titanium white, and also the Mars black. So I started out with the silver. No, actually, I started out with the white. I got a little on my brush, wiped it off on a towel, and then just simply dry brushed that across the back. black just to kind of age the wood, give it that look. I wanted the wood to still show through. So just barely went across that. I then took a makeup sponge, and with the silver, I am going to just tap that all over this envelope. Just tap, 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 tap. It gives it that galvanized look, so you're covering it with the silver, but you're also giving it a little bit of texture by tapping. I then took some black and some white and created some kind of contouring it, I guess you would say. So I put the black around the edges. I also added in some of the burnt sienna to make it look like rust. But everything I did, I would go back over it with the silver. So I would put the color on and then go back over it with my sponge that had silver on it. I then took this ornament that I found at the Dollar General store. How cute is that? Yep, it's already perfect. And it was going to fit perfectly right there on the front. So first I started out with hot glue. I thought maybe because we had painted the metal that it would stick a little better. But not so much. It fell right off. So I picked off all of that glue. I just picked it off of there. I'm then going to go in with some of my Starbond multi-purpose. This is like a super glue, and then you've got an accelerator that goes with it. Now, when you spray that accelerator on one thing, put the glue on the other, and then connect the two, it turns into like a hard plastic. So I knew this would definitely stick. So I just added a little bit more glue around the edges and just held that tight. I added in a little bit more of the accelerator also, I believe, just to make sure that that stayed on real well. I then took those picks and just kind of cut them up, placed them in there. I didn't like one of them, so I went and got another one that matched the two that were already in there. Popped in a couple more. I then took a piece of ribbon, cut off just as much as I needed, glued it together. I glued the 2 points together just to make a little loop. And then I'm just going to glue that to the back side of this envelope. Y'all, this is so stinking cute. Oh my goodness, so stinking cute. And it was so simple to make. So simple to make. And I believe I gave $2 for the little envelope. Too stinking cute. Check it out. So put the 3 candlesticks and then do the greenery down in the bottom. I'll probably repaint the candlesticks. Maybe those white or black, I don't know. Oh yes, I totally grabbed those candlesticks, had to have them. I knew that we could make a super nice centerpiece on a super tight budget. So I've got 3 of the chunky wood rounds from the Dollar Tree, and then I've also got a mirror that I found at the thrift store. Now originally I was going to use the basket, excuse me, but I decided that the mirror would just be prettier. So grabbed the mirror, I taped it off so that I wouldn't, get any kind of paint or anything on the mirror part. And then I took my white chalk paint. I take that back. It's ivory. I took my ivory chalk paint by Waverly and gave this 2 really, really good coats. Now, I knew I was going to go back and distress it. So when I do that, I like to start off with a good clean slate, like it's freshly painted, and then you go back and distress. So I just took that sandpaper and went all the way around this frame. I even got around the inside edges, just really distressed it. It turned out great. took the tape off. I'm then going to take this Starbond multi-purpose adhesive. Now this is black and it's thick. It's actually thicker than the one that we used before, but it comes out black. We're going to be painting these candlesticks black anyway, so I knew that this would work. But all I did was add the glue around the outside edge of that candlestick. Now, I knew I was going to need something that was going to stick pretty good. I added my accelerator to the wood round and then popped the two of them together. And like I said before, it turns into like a hard plastic. So I knew that this would be perfect for this DIY. Same thing for the bigger candlestick. I just added the glue right around that outside rim, added my adhesive to my wood round, and then placed the two together. And y'all, it sticks. I can pick it up from the top, from the bottom. It is stuck. All right, I took them outside. I've got my 2x Ultra Matte paint and primer in black from Rust-Oleum. And I'm just going to give these candlesticks about 3 good coats, honestly. I went really light with the first coat just to let it kind of prime it. And then I went back in with another couple coats. I placed those candlesticks in the center of that mirror. I then took some of extra trees and greenery I had and glued that down. And y'all, this is stunning. And now for the final reveal. I hope that y'all enjoy. All right, y'all, that is it. I hope that y'all have enjoyed this. I had so much fun putting this video together. Bree and I, which is my best friend, we had a blast this day, y'all. Thank you so much for being with me today. Don't forget to give this a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and have a blessed day.